What's that one thing that is common with every single Genshin 5-star? Well, if you would answer idle animations, you would be correct. So in this video, I'm going to be ranking idle animations of every single 5-star in this game, from S to F. S being the best, and F being donkey duty. But now, before we start, allow me to get some money to wail on Nilo's banner. This video is sponsored by Opera GX. Opera GX is the world's first browser built for gamers. You, me, we are gamers. It's amazing for us because when those other browsers eat too much RAM, my potato PC starts to lag. Opera GX has got that covered. With their GX control, you can choose how much RAM and CPU the browser uses, so your gameplay won't be affected. It's perfect when you want to keep those tabs open while gaming. It also has a network limiter, which you can use to control the amount of bandwidth this browser uses. This can also be used to gain some performance in games or streams. And unlike most of the generic browsers, you can go all in and customize this browser however you want. You can choose custom themes, wallpapers and colors, and it also has my favorite feature, the auto dark mode. There is also a GX corner where you can go to stay up to date with the best deals, the newest releases, new free games, and everything in between, all in one place. You can also sort this by the platform you play your games on. You also get a free VPN to do things and a free ad blocker. Opera GX is also available on mobile devices, and it's called the GX Mobile. And you can also connect this to your desktop if you wanted to. Opera GX is free to download, and you can get it now by clicking the link in the description or the pinned comment. Thanks again to Opera GX for sponsoring today's video, and enjoy. First off, we have Albedo. Not only is this guy blessed with the most wholesome fandom ever, but he also has some really cool idle animations. In his first idle animation, he pulls out a stick out of nowhere and inspects it. Nothing too special, but this fits his lore and personality really well. It's a solid A tier for me. In his second idle animation, he pulls out a notepad and draws stuff. Kinda shows that my boy is talented. And another good thing about his idols is that he doesn't make any noise. I also made an edit for this and got banned from the Genshin Impact subreddit. So all in all, it's a solid A tier for me. Itto. This guy is like the broest character in this game and I love it. All his idols reflect that really well. And for his first idol animation, he pulls out a comb and fixes his hair. It's really cool and a solid S tier for me. But his other idol animation? Holy, it's annoying. At first, it looks really cool. He kinda stomps his feet on the ground, but after listening to this for more than 5 or 6 times, it got really annoying for me. So it's getting a D tier. Diluc. He got a new skin recently and it looks kinda cool. His skin also came with a new idle animation, where his bird kinda throws out a scroll and he reads it. And in the end, he kinda burns it. To me, it looks really cool, but it's kind of as well. So I'm gonna give it a B. Now for his regular idols, his first one involves his eagle. It comes to him and just sits there, and Diluc kinda pets it. And in the end, Diluc also does this little head nod, which I really like. I also love bird, so I'm gonna give this one an A. Now for his final idol animation, he just kinda fixes his hair and that's it. It's very mid, so it's getting an F tier. He is now also the only 5-star with 3 idol animations. Eula. She is the character that I want the most, for her idols of course. And in Eula's first idol, she kinda plays with her hair, fixes it, and that's about it. Nothing too special, but it's kinda cute, so it'll get a C tier for me. But now in her second idol animation, she pulls out a clan symbol and completely crushes it. It really shows her resentment for her elders and their actions, and it represents what she stands for. For that, it gets an A tier for me. Ganyu, the Coco God. For her first idol animation, she just brings out a small chillin' globe and kinda just stands there. It's very simple and cute. B tier. Now for her other idol animation, she just kind of falls asleep. It shows the amount of work that the secretary has to do. Do we really need to talk about Leo's work culture or something? This idol animation kind of makes me sad, so I'm gonna have to give this one a D. Uta. Probably the character with the most iconic idol animations ever. In her first idol animation, she pulls out a ghost, which the community calls Butao, and she kind of blows it away and waves it goodbye. It's fun, iconic, and very unique. A tier. But now in a second idol animation, she kinda does this Hilichurl song, easily one of the most recognizable, and it is probably the most iconic part of Genshin as well. And I'm kinda scared to rate it any lower than S, cause it might as well be a hate crime. And I will get flamed in the comments. So it's an S tier for me. Jean. For her, she has very chill idol animations. In her first animation, which is very fitting considering that she's like the Dandelion Knight, and she also needs dandelions to level up. It's kind of fun to look at, so for that, A tier. Now call me a shrimp, but I really like her hair fixing animation. It's simple and quick, so I'll give it a B. Kazuha. For his idol animation, my man pulls out a leaf and blows it. God, I wish that was me. Anyways, this idol animation fits him and it looks really cool. So it's an A tier for me. And in his second idol, he pulls out a sword and cleans it. And he makes a very nice pose at the end. Easy S tier. Ayaka. In her first idol animation, Ayaka pulls out a fan and covers her face with it. It looks cute and wholesome. And it kinda shows off her personality as well, so I'll give it a B. But now, her other idol animation, dude, it's so annoying. This animation of her might be more annoying than Zhongli's, and that's saying something. Easy F tier. Ayato. He pulls out a blade and poses with it. Looks very fancy, but the thing is that a lot of swords don't really match his grip. So unless you're like a whale or an Aneoma user, it'll look bad. So it's a B tier for me. In his second idol animation, he pulls out a boba. My man pulls out a boba and drinks it. And after he's like done drinking, the cup just vanishes. This also kind of confirms that these guys have plastic in this world. So it's an easy S tier. Keqing is probably the busiest woman in Liyue, and her idols kind of reflect that. She pulls out a map of Liyue and kind of looks at it. It's simple but kind of mid, so it's a C tier for me. But now for the other animation, she just fixes her collar thing. Nothing special or anything, and it's also kind of mid, so it's a D tier for me. Klee, the most wholesome 5-star in this game. In her first idol animation, she just fixes her bag, and that's about it. Nothing special, so I'll give it a C. In her other idol animation, she just jumps around and looks for her Doriko. It fits her perfectly, so it's an A tier. Mona. Mona is a smart person, and in her first idol, she pulls out a constellation thing and just looks at it, and then it kind of floats away. So this constellation thing of her can either show Jean, Amber or Lisa, and it looks really good. It's an A tier for me. In her second animation, she brings out her wallet and shakes it, and voila, a single coin comes out, implying that she's poor. But we know this is fake because in a new quest we visited her house, we see that she's very loaded. So for this, I'll have to give it a B. This idol animation also reminds me of the time when YouTube completely demonetized my channel for no reason whatsoever. Qiqi! Qiqi can also be the contender for the best idol animations. In her first idol, she just stretches cause, you know, she's a zombie, and if she didn't do that, her body probably won't work. This animation looks really cute, so for that, it gets an S tier for me. In her alternate idol, there's this gust of wind that blows a paper thing on her hat away, and she kinda grabs it to make sure it doesn't fly away. It looks very cute. Another S tier. By the way, this gust of wind can also move the objects in game, which is pretty cool. Raiden. In her first animation, a bird comes out of nowhere and sits on her hand. She kinda looks at it and lets her go, which is kinda sweet. Now that I think about it, it could be because she's like a puppet or like a robot. The bird probably feels comfortable around her. Nevertheless, I like birds like her, and I like this idol. B tier. But now her other animation, it's kinda dumb. She kinda pulls out an electro ball and just looks at it, and that's it. By the way, every single Archon has like a ball related idol animation. So does that mean that the Dendro Archon is gonna have a ball as well? But now with that being said, it's nothing really special, doesn't match her personality or her lore. I'll have to put it in F. Kokomi. I personally think that Kokomi has the best idol animations. In her first idol animation, she opens up a book, reads it, she nods her head and then smiles. This smile is worth dying for, so I must give it an S. And now, for other idol animation, a fish just comes out of nowhere, she kinda plays with it, and the fish kinda kisses her. And god, I wish that was me. Easiest S tier of my life. Animations are also very quiet, so bonus points for that. Shenhe. For Shenhe, she pulls out a picture of her house, which I'm assuming is like an old house where she lived before going berserk. And in this animation, she just kinda stands there and looks sad. I'll have to give it a B. Now for her other animation, throws this like cryo sigil thing around, and this circle kind of forms around her. It's very pretty and fits her very well. And for that and no other reason, I'm going to have to give her an S tier. Tartaglia, my favorite Russian guy in Genshin. In his first idol animation, he just kind of stands there, looks back, and kind of shows off, which fits his personality, but it's nothing special. C tier. He pulls out these blades and a bow and swings it around. Looks really dope because apparently he's the weakest with the bow. For that reason, he uses that. I mean, call me 13, but I think that's pretty awesome. So A tier. This man might have the most cheerful animations ever. So for his first animation, he brings out a lyre and starts playing it. And surprisingly, it hasn't gotten annoying for me, so I'll have to give him a B. For his second idol, he kind of floats up and forms this ball made out of air in his hand, which kind of reminds me of his ult, and we get to see a wholesome ass smile. S tier. Xiao, the tallest anime boy, and probably the saddest one as well. But that aside, let's talk about his idols. So for his first idol, he puts on his mask and this dark aura comes around it. Extremely fitting for his lore and backstory. I would have put this animation in A, but he makes those like weird ass growling noises, so I'll have to cut some points and put it in B. For his second animation, For his second animation, the small glowing thing that kinda looks like Navi from Zelda comes to him and floats around him. And he tries to catch it and reaches his hand out. Every time I see this, it makes me sad. So for this, I'm gonna have to give my boy an A tier. Yae. Like Yelan, Yae also has very fitting idols. In her first idol, she pulls out a Gohei, which is like a stick that is used to bless someone in a shrine. And Yae Miko does the same. She kinda waves it around and bonks you. It's really cute. S tier. But now, I have some issues with the second idol animation. Because in this idol, her pet kinda eats the bird. I mean, it does tell that she's like a very sussy person and she likes to kinda mess around and stuff. But still, the bird didn't deserve that. They'll have to cut some points and give this one an A tier. Yelan, the gambler. She also has very fitting idols and they look really cool. So for her first idol animation, she just throws a die in air and catches it. And it matches her very well. So for that, I'm gonna have to give this one an A. With that being said, her second idol is kinda meh. She just fixes a bracelet, but if you know the lore, I guess it's kinda cool, but still, I'm gonna have to give this one a C. Yoimiya, my favorite character in this game. And she has some pretty cool idol animations as well. In her first idol animation, she just kinda stretches and makes this face. In the end, nothing special happens, so I'm gonna have to give this one a B. But now, for her second animation, she brings out a firework, spins around with it. This right here is the cause of diabetes. It's very cute and fun to see. The easiest S tier of my life. Zhongli. In his first animation, he just kinda stands there, swings his wrist, and does the Osmanthus Wine voice line. And now, I think I speak for the majority of the Genshin players here. His Osmanthus Wine voice line is super annoying, and if you go AFK even for a second, he'll pop this animation out. But with that being said, it's very iconic. So for that, I'll give it a D. For his other animation, he pulls out a small geomedia thing that he uses for his ult, and it kind of spins around near his head. So can we please get a silly version of this, Mr. Hoyoverse? It's very cute and I kind of want it. I'll give it an A. So yeah, that's my complete and unbiased list for all of the 5-star idol animations. I have the link for the tier list in the description as well. So if you want to make your own list, feel free to send it to me on my Discord server. And if you disagree with me, let's have a very civil discussion in the comments. There's no way that's gonna happen. But anyways, thanks for watching and I'll see you bozo soon. Bye bye.